at the Washington, D.C. Zoo. Police believe it was gang-related and have arrested a 16-year-old suspect. The crimes come shortly after the anniversary of Columbine and again raise the question of how guns should be dealt with. With us now is Donna Dees-Thomases, who is leading the Million Mom March in Washington on Mother's Day. So, what very precisely do you want to accomplish by this march?
We want to mobilize people to this cause. We know moms across the country have been crying in their kitchens about this now for many, many years, and particularly with the wake of all the shootings in the last few months, that we're just sick of it. And it has called our attention that something has to be done. And we've put together some policy goals, and we plan to put...
All right, give us very precisely what those goals are.
Licensing and registration.
All right, licensing and registration of what?
Handguns.
All handguns.
Handguns, and the owner should be licensed, just like we license a driver for a car, that they should take a safety course, and that they should understand the rules of the road. They should understand what the laws are about their handguns.
All right. What else?
That the handgun should be registered, and that way they would think twice before they let that handgun fall into the wrong hands, particularly that of a child or a criminal. And we're asking for child-proofing. You know, the industry has put its money in making guns deadlier for years, but they haven't really done much about making them safer.
So you want licensing, registration, and child-proofing. Anything else? And
enforcing existing laws. We understand that some laws need better enforcement, and we agree with that.
Okay, so enforcement of federal and state gun laws right now, which is not being done, you know. I mean, the Brady Bill, they haven't enforced anything.
Oh, the Brady Bill has stopped 400,000 people
from
getting guns.
Well, that's the propaganda.
I'm
not exactly sure that's true.
The propaganda is when you turn on your news and you see that kids are getting shot every day.
I like the Brady Bill.
That's not propaganda, Bill. That is the news.
Donna, hold on for a minute.
Real life.
1 minute, okay? I like the Brady Bill, and I'm for strict regulation of handguns. But I will tell you this, propaganda on both sides is forehead deep, on the NRA side and on the administration side. And if you're going to swallow stats that come at you by these people, I would tell you to rethink.
First of all, Bill, I don't speak for the administration. I'm here speaking for mothers.
But I will tell you this.
I don't speak for the administration. I don't use their stats.
We know how many cases of Brady Bill denials have been enforced by the federal government, and it's less than 3%.
Well, Bill, should we not do anything? Should we not put
I'm
some
just
laws?
telling you, don't swallow their
Bill, tell me
propaganda.
what national laws are on the books now that call for some at least basic standards across the books. There are none. Other than the Brady Bill, there's nothing out there.
Again, I am for sane and effective gun control measures. I support that. But I want to get very precise, and I want to cut out the rhetoric, and I want to drop these ridiculous statistics on both sides because they're bogus.
I didn't come out here, spilling statistics.
Okay, now, we have this thing in Washington, D.C., where it looks like it's gun-related. I believe that all of your points that you call for would not have prevented that crime. Am I wrong?
First of all, Bill, I didn't come here to talk about whether these specific laws would have cured that, but absolutely, you know what? If these laws had been done 25 years ago, yes, I think so.
Really?
Absolutely, 25 years ago. Barry Goldwater said 25 years ago he was against gun control because there were so many guns in this country, it would take 50 years to get them under control. Well, if we had done this 25 years ago, we'd be halfway there right now,
But how
Bill.
would these laws have kept a handgun out of the presence of a gang member? How would they have done that?
People still get killed on the road even though we have driver's license. People still get killed on the road even though we have cars registered. But you know what? It sets up a preventive force to keep some people from doing the wrong thing on the road. And you know what? Can you imagine the chaos on the road if no one had a driver's license or that no one had their car registered? What we're asking for is preventive things. No, we're not going to save every life here. We're not going to save every life here. But we have to put some regulations in place that we start saving some.
All right, that's a good answer. But I think that you and I will both agree that criminals are going to get guns no matter what you do. Some criminals will.
Okay, some criminals will.
If you want to get a gun, even though you have these laws, you'll get a gun.
Because they're so easy to get. Because of the marketing of the gun industry has put so many guns in this country right now,
And you know what's going to happen? And again, I'm not arguing with your basic tenet, but what's going to happen is if all of these things were put in place, the price of guns would go up, and the traffic, as in narcotics, would be brisk. We'll have more with Mrs. Thomases in a moment, and then we'll talk with a man who was in the Gonzalez house when the feds stormed it. Back in a moment.
So, you've managed to point and click your way into too much debt.
Why not point and click your way out of debt with a second mortgage from Ditech.com? Whether you have equity or no equity, good credit or not so good credit, Ditech has a second mortgage with absolutely no closing costs to help you lower your monthly payments now. So point and click your way out of high-interest, non-tax deductible credit card debt at Ditech.com.
or call us at 1-800-71-FIXED. Ditech.com.
Is finding the right computer keeping you up? You could get this one. But does it include internet service? Nope. Or you could go with this one. But does it offer 24/7 tech support or enough memory? No. Or you could go with a Gateway Performance PC and get AOL included 24/7 tech support and now a free memory upgrade, all for just $45 a month. That should make you rest easy. Call 1-800-GATEWAY, featuring the Intel Pentium 3 processor.
Whoa! Lawn weeds, huh, Pete?
Yeah.
Try Ortho Weed Be Gone.
We be what?
Gone, as in out of here.
Like adios.
Weed Be Gone kills more weeds than other brands.
Really?
Even tough weeds others leave behind.
And it didn't hurt my lawn.
Ortho guarantees it. Lawn weeds? Leave it to Ortho. And only Ortho has lock and spray, so now applying Weed Be Gone is even easier.
Make every day good to the last drop.
Tonight, State of Affairs. Secretary of State Madeleine Albright joins Paul Ozon for an explosive one-on-one. Plus, find out how Clinton hid his affairs under a blanket of security. A new bombshell sexgate book tells all. Tonight on The Edge with Paul Ozon.
Hey there, I'm Edie Donna. Hey, tomorrow on Fox and Friends, what's the frequency? We'll get the answers from the new Flick stars. And are you sick of fighting with Fido? We have tips on patching things up with your dog. 7 a.m. Eastern Time.
Continuing now with Donna Dees-Thomases, who is leading the Million Mom March in Washington on Mother's Day for gun control. Now, I'm furious at both sides of this issue. I believe that the gun advocates in the NRA are selfish, in the sense that they don't want to give up their guns. They like the hobby, they like to shoot, they like the protection they believe guns afford them, and they don't want to compromise and register guns or, as you said, get a license for them or any of that. They say, look, I'm a law-abiding citizen. I have a right to protect my family. I don't want any government intrusion, period, and I don't care about anything else. I think that's a little unbending. But on the other side, we have the Clinton administration and Attorney General Reno, who demagogued the issue shamelessly, and to me, that just drives me through the ceiling, by saying, yes, we need all these gun control laws, but we're not going to enforce them. You see, now if you're going to have licensing, registration, child-proofing, and all of that, then I say if the gun owner is going, if the legitimate gun owner, the law-abiding person is going to do that, then if you break that law, you've got to punish those people. You've got to have both in play.
Absolutely, Bill. If you go to our website, www.millionmommarch.com, you will see that we also call for, in our platform, is for the enforcement of existing laws and the no-nonsense enforcement of these laws that we want passed.
Okay,
we're
now,
totally on the same page.
The argument that the NRA and the gun advocates say is that this is the first step toward confiscation of guns. And ironically, it's the same argument the abortion advocates give for partial birth abortion, which we're going to deal later on in the program with. But you know, you can say to yourself, you know, if I register my gun and I tell the government what I have and this and that, and an administration gets in that doesn't want any guns, they're going to come in and take my guns.
You know, Bill, the Mothers Against Drunk Driving, they didn't ban alcohol, but what they did was ban the irresponsible use of alcohol. And that's all we want, the same thing. We want responsible laws in place that people know that they cannot sell their gun over the fence to the neighbor who may want to take it and kill his children and his wife. This happens every day in this country, Bill, because I know, I talk to these women every day who've lost their children, or someone who's lost a spouse, to someone who's gotten a gun too easily.
What do you think about law-abiding Americans who want to buy a handgun? Do you think they should be allowed to do that?
Guess what? We have many law-abiding gun owners who believe in what we're doing because they know it will help them and protect their families as well.
So you don't want to stop anybody from buying a handgun?
I want to stop children, juveniles, and people who are mentally ill or who have criminal records from getting guns, yes.
All right.
They should not get guns.
Now, how do you know when somebody's mentally ill, though? That's a tough thing, right?
It's a tough thing, and you know, that's one thing that we have to look into, and I hope we throw some money at it, whether this administration or the next administration. How do we go through records and find out who should and who should not have a gun? And it's a hot potato.
Right, because there's a Privacy Act that you can't be going into people's medical records, so you're never going to get that done.
Well, I
agree with the criminal record, but I will tell you this. I think that both sides here have got to bend and be more more effective to solve this problem. Now, the Million Mom March, you're not going to get a million moms out there.
Well, you know, a million is a metaphor for a lot of people.
Okay.
And when I filled out the application,
how many do you think moms are going to show
Well,
up?
I put down 10,000 when I filled out the application.
Right.
I think we have 50,000 at least, and we hope for 100,000.
100,000 in D.C. Now, how did you get involved in this? You live in Short Hills, New Jersey. You're just a regular citizen, right?
I'm a regular citizen. I have some PR savvy, you know, but I decided after the shooting at the Granada Hills Day Camp, where it was at a Jewish community center.
In California.
California, it was
where
just,
those kids were shot.
Absolutely. It was just too close to home. I have kids the exact same
Right.
ages who go to a JCC. And I did a little, little research on the web, and I realized, oh my God, where have I been? I always thought we had decent gun laws.
So you're just a citizen who decided
Yes.
to do something. Well,
yes.
Congratulations
well,
to you.
My first 5 nursery school mom friends all got involved too, and then it was 25
But you know,
and 100
that guy
and
who
500.
did that, no matter, you could have every gun control law in the world, and he still would have got the gun. He was crazy.
Bill, 25 years ago, we put these laws in place.
I know, you told me
not.
that.
And guess what? Maybe I'm not really doing this for my children, but I'm doing this for my grandchildren.
All right.
In 25 years, I'm going to have grandchildren. I want better laws in the books so that we don't have to live where everybody's shooting at each other. Well, you can't even go to the zoo anymore, Bill. You can't even go to the zoo and
All right,
fear for your children's safety.
We appreciate you coming in here, Mrs. Thomases. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And directly ahead, what was it like for the people inside the Gonzalez home at the time of the raid? We'll talk with a man who was there. And then on the rundown, the Supreme Court hearing a suit about partial birth abortion. We'll report on that and the similarities to the gun control issue in just a few moments from now.
Companies that